China is just getting more and more brazen, and the Liberal government needs to answer now that they've been re-elected, now that they've cobbled together their new variation of their cabinet. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep taking all the hits from China? Now, we are almost at the 1-year anniversary of Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor being arbitrarily detained in China. 2 Canadians being held hostage. Yes, let's use the word because that is what it is. Now, the previous ambassador from China to Canada, Liu She, he wasn't a particularly good fit for us. He said some pretty outlandish things, and he had the nerve to accuse Canadians of being rooted in white supremacy because of their attitudes on this file, because they dared to ask, can you please return these 2 Canadians, because we dared to be critical of a lot of the things that China is doing to us right now. Well, there was hope that perhaps the new ambassador would be a little better. Not so much. The new guy, Ambassador Kong Pei-Wu, he gave a media interview to a roundtable of people on Friday, and, well, he said some pretty interesting things. For starters, he encouraged Canadians to speak out and be opposed to the pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong. Really unbelievable stuff, particularly given that you already have people on the ground in Canada right now in places like Vancouver and Markham who are speaking out against the Hong Kong pro-democracy activists. It's really alarming and disappointing to see that happen, and now the new ambassador is goading them along, encouraging more of that to happen. But here's what he also said. It was very interesting. He said that the arrest of Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou, well, that had caused some of the severe difficulties that the Canada-China relationship has now. Really? So this guy's pretty much admitting now, almost admitting publicly and unashamedly, that Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor were just arrested, detained, arbitrarily being held for a year just because of Meng Wanzhou, who is facing the legal system, the above-board legal system in North America in the same way anyone else would be. Meanwhile, the 2 Michaels are not facing anything resembling a fair and accessible justice system. That is not what's happening at all. So we cannot continue to play their game. You know, we heard that when the new ambassador Dominic Barton first got into his position, he actually went there and he met with them when consular assistance was provided for them. They've had very few meetings, very few interactions with the outside world, but Dominic Barton went and saw them. Okay, that's great. Good to see that. And now we, of course, learned that the pork ban has been lifted, so Canadian pork products now have access to the Chinese market. And Justin Trudeau thanked Dominic Barton for playing a role in that. Okay, that's great. We'll take it where we can get it. However, as a lot of observers have noted, there was a major pork shortage going on in China. It's a very popular consumer product, and they had swine flu, and they had to kill off many pigs there in that unfortunate swine flu they had. So they probably lifted the pork ban because they needed to get access to pork products, not because of anything that we were doing, any superior negotiating. So what's going to happen? How are we going to advance this file? Because clearly from what the new ambassador is saying, they just don't care anymore. They're going to continue to prod us. They're going to continue to practically laugh in our faces about this, doing it their way or the highway. And that's the question this government's going to face and the new cabinet is facing. Are you going to do it the Canadian way, or are you going to do it the Chinese communist authoritarian way? Because they're saying it's got to be that way. I think if you ask regular Canadians, they're going to say, not a chance, no thanks. So the ball is right now in Justin Trudeau's court.